like a piece of cake in a 5-year-old's mouth. All right. I'd love if you would consider subscribing to the channel. That would be just divine. Or leave us a like, a comment, super thanks. Tell your friends about us. Let other people know who are ASMR fans that if you like sports cards and kind of weird ASMR. Actually, that's not fair. That's not fair. I think ASMR just is inherently awkward. But that's the fun of it, right? Do you out there have to try to explain ASMR to people in your life who don't understand it? Or they just think you're watching some sort of porn, you know? I mean, do what you want with this video, but I'm just saying, it's hard. It's hard to explain. But I'm glad you're all here. Let's get to it. As you can see, we've got the baseball card album out, but that's a lie. That's a lie, because we also have football cards. We also have basketball cards. We also have hockey cards. We also have pro wrestling cards. And yeah, we also have some Star Wars cards in this album. But today, I love doing these videos because these seem to provide a lot of relaxation to the viewers here at Sports Card ASMR. These are some of my most re-watched videos. Watch the series, go to the playlist if I remember to put the link up there. But what happens is these videos actually serve a function for me. And actually, I'm not going to talk much in this video today, so you can skip ahead or whatever you need. I'm going to try to talk less today, but I started this channel because I had a bunch of cards from my old collecting days, and I had a lot of like unopened packs of 1987 tops. And 1991 and 1990 tops, so I thought I'm going to start this channel because I like ASMR. I'm going to do what I felt was my own kind of version of it, and then I'm going to get rid of the cards because they were taking up space in my studio here. But what has happened is, as you can see, this is just a small portion of cards that I have. That most of these right here have been acquired since I started this channel. And if you've been following me along, you can kind of see the collection is growing, and my ideas of just getting rid of cards has gone out the window, and I'm, using the wonderful penny sleeves that we have to set aside cards that I think have some value, or I just might want to hold on to. What's funny is I've not actually sold any cards. I think I've sent a few cards out to some of you, which, by the way, if you ever see a card on here and you kind of want it, there's an email address listed down below, right around the P.O. box where you can send me stuff. But if you want stuff, I'm open to sending stuff out to people with a super thanks to cover shipping and stuff like that, provided it's not like a Honus Wagner that I pull or something like that, or a Michael Jordan rookie, but you know what I mean. So, I'm not going to talk as much. I've wasted your time. Let's get to it. We have a lot of cards. I mean, look at this. Here's some of the cards we are looking at organizing today. A lot of these from recent polls. Some of these old cards from my collection that I'm moving into this binder. And of course, because I am a long-suffering Miami Dolphin fan, I love collecting just random Miami Dolphins. Today. Okay. Not something said a lot these days. First, get to it, Sports Card Doctor. Let's go ahead and flip to the pages. joining one of these videos for the first time, the sports card doctor is not saying these cards are worth a ton. There's a lot of emotional value in the cards I put in this binder. Like there's almost no value to these OPGs, but I love them. But you know that. Stare deep into his eyes. You are getting randied. You are getting sassy, like Randy Milligan. Did it work? No, okay. So let's set aside light gray Ryan. Expand our collection with the Studio 92s. Now, with grainy black and white photos behind every picture. Don't want to ruin those mauve-on corners. Damn it. My shoehorn. Where's my shoehorn tool? Well, we're not going to sell that one anyways. Beautiful. This is a 1990 Kmart. That would require moving a lot of pigios right now. Let's just add this pigio down to this classic 2001 Topps. This Don Manning one is all out of whack as well, so this one, the 1990 Kmart Don Mattingly, will just be added to the back of the collection. We'll clean this up one day. I gotta say, that's actually one of my favorite Mattingly shots there, man. One of the greatest swings of all time, kids. Back to organizing. Alright, we do have one Barry Bonds. We're going to add to the Bonds collection. Alright, now I will admit, I like this Barry Bonds here. This is a 1988 Fleer Superstars subset number 4 of 44. We recently pulled this from an old bag of cards I found in my storage. So this is an early Barry Bonds. I thought about setting this aside and seeing if it has any greater value than emotions. But much like the lack of muscle that Barry has in this photo, it doesn't really have a great amount of value. But it's perfect for our Barry Bonds collection. I am a Barry fascinating, interesting, and at times tragic character. All part of the baseball story. Speaking of people that are sometimes tough to root for because, wow, what a grump. But one of my favorite players from this era is, of course, Will Nuschler Clark. So, got a good collection of Will Clarks here. This very off-center. Let's move some stuff around here. Just a perfect photo of Will's great swing from this era. I mean, from his entire career, but 88, 89, man. Will's the guy. Alright, so we have Flair 90, we have Score 91 here, so we got some 91s. We got the 93s, 91s. Here we got our plan of attack. The Pacific Sock Exchange right there. This actually here is one of my favorite photos too, because this, quite frankly, looks like me not getting home from Taco Bell in time, but maybe trying to catch my dignity. I don't know. It's a great photo though. Alright, grab a beer, start drinking. I gotta put a new weight box card in the collection. The 90 Flair League standout cards. We got a Mattingly League standout too, don't we? Yes, we do. Alright, we got another Ryan Sandberg to commemorate one of the greatest in the game. Put him in here to keep our weird OPG obsession growing. I don't apologize for it, but it is what it is. Alright, we got a player of the decade card. Back then this card had just the style, the subset, the 10th anniversary Flair. It had so much prestige to it, but now it looks like someone made this with clip art in 1997 for an office meeting. Roger, you're the employee of the decade. Get this little certificate and a certificate to Pep Boys. Alright. Okay, we have some choices to make here. What do we got? We got one card here. This is a 1988 Flair John Smoltz from the update set. Pretty good condition here. A little off-center perhaps, but I did have this set aside in a penny sleeve, and I was going to kind of hold this in another section of my collection, but, you know, I have this weird Atlanta starting pitching collection because I used to watch a lot of Braves games. Even though I was a Yankee fan in California, the games I got to watch the most were the Braves on WTPS, so I have an affinity for the early 90 Braves and starting pitchers there. So Kirk Clavins, even Steve Avery. We do have Greg Maddux. Okay, I'm gonna do this a little bit here. Gonna do a little organizing. this here again, little off center, but I don't know the current value of this card, but it is the Flair update card. Very, very early Maddox from '87 Flair. There's a lot of other Maddoxes out there, but this is his first Flair card, I believe, because he did not have an '86 Flair, even though he made his debut. So I don't think so. Someone tell me if he did. But anyways, since this is off center and this has been in a box for a very long time, we're not too worried about the value. In fact, we're going to just shove it in there. Okay. And then let's go ahead and just hold some space for these renegades. All right. One baseball card left. And it's a random Ruben Sierra. So right now we have this pretty random page here with Greg Vaughn, Bert Blyleven, Jay Buhner, 1991 World Series umpires. Paul Hill. I just like this Ruben Sierra card. I think it's very cinematic. I like these pinnacles. This one's got some bricking damage on the back there, but one of the most powerful swings of all time there. He had a violent swing, it's fair to say, and I just like ribbons here. So the card's going to go into this random page here, and we'll figure that out later. All right. We have completed our baseball journey here today, and now we have a lot of, whoa, boy. Deep breath. We have a lot of football to get to here. So let's take a look and get to our football section. Flip with me. Reach the football section. We're going to get to the Dolphins after the other cards here, because it's the start of the NFL season at the time of this recording. We're like getting right there. 53-man rosters are set, and I need some good, vibes for the Dolphins this year, because it's not looking good. So we'll come back to that. Each page just represents years of false hope in Miami. It's been tough. Alright. As some of you know, Steve Largent was one of my favorite players back in the 80s. And I have a collection of Steve Largents because of that, as you can see. I had two set aside here. We have, okay. I thought it was the same card. It's not. That's good. Okay, glad I put that aside. This is not in any order yet. Sometimes it's the comedy, sometimes it's the parody of ASMR. Check out our sandwich making video if you'd like. But I also get to add cards to old collections. This is a recent pull, Pro Set. It's the Sterling Sharp. We didn't have that in our collection previously. Now we do. Thank you, Sports Card ASMR. And thank you all of you for keeping the dream alive here. Here's a Shannon Sharp. That's a great card. I do love that shot. That is a great shot. Even though he is my second favorite of the Sharp brothers. Sterling's career cut short, really, by injury. Alright. We do have, what do we got? We got 2 Art Monks. We got a Bruce Smith. And some random cards that I like. So let's go into the randomness. Alright. I've come to that worn. Put a pin in that worn moon, but not literally. Alright, we got our weird collection of Metcalfs and Carriers and Smiths and Andre Wares. Quarterbacks. Blank sheet. Okay. Here's what we're going to do here. We got this 85 Topps Art Monk. Of course, the 85 Topps football cards are very hard to keep in any good shape because the rounded quarter there, the black borders and the rounded corners, all that good stuff. So, Art Monk, one of the greats. Don't forget Art Monk when you're talking about great wide receivers of the game. Just a great shot there. Great shot from 91 score. Let's ruin the card. Okay. Got a hodgepodge. I got a hodgepodge over here. Alright. Alright, so we're keeping all these, but we do have this Bruce Smith. Despite me being a Miami Dolphin fan who experienced a lot of pain at the hands of the Bills and Bruce Smith, I still like Bruce Smith a lot. So we're going to kind of start a little Bruce Smith page right there. Okay. And then this kind of random Vance Johnson. I just love this card. I'm going to set this aside here. Alright, and then we have this one we pulled, Tony McGee. If you watch that recent price guide battle video, more of a modern card. We have some of those back here. So, we'll just dump this right here. There we go. Alright. So, as you can see, football looking good there. We're looking good there. Sterling there. Alright, you know, I know I'm trying to keep these specific cards. I just like to look at the specific cards. That's why I kind of keep them all together, but, you know, come on here. I got a Sterling. Might move that Bruce Smith too. What do you all think? Is it there's almost no rhyme or reason to this binder, and I know it probably drives some people a little crazy, but look at that. That's a great Sterling Sharp. There we go. Got a page of Sterlings. Alright, I can live with that. So now I got this Michael Irvin. We do have a collection of Irvin, so we could probably put in this binder eventually, but for right now, how about, you know what I mean? Okay, Chris Carter. Did I get lost in my own museum here? I think I got lost in my own museum, Marcus Brody style. Alright, for right now, let's do this. And I think eventually his rookie card. Be careful with this. This has some value. This actually has some value. This is not in horrendous shape. This card is actually, if you look it up, graded. It's a good value, but this is not going to be anywhere near a 10, 9, or even an 8. But it's held up pretty good. 91s. We got the. I always forget. This is the 91 tops. There. Okay, we got. There's his rookie card there. What is this? 92 Stadium Club, 92 or 93 Stadium Club. We've got the Pro Set 89. That's an early one there, and another score. 91 going on there. Okay, so there you go. That's what we're doing right here. Got some worn moons to put in there. Alright, let's do it. I'll be as careful as I can with this card. I have 2 of these. I have one set aside somewhere that's not as in good condition as that one, so maybe I'll switch them out one day. I like this worn moon because he's being very polite. It's like me in line at the Taco Bell going, you go first, because I'm going to need you out of my way in the driveway when I leave. 2 Taco Bell poop jokes today. Alright, we got this going. And if you have never, if you didn't get a chance to see Warren Moon play, he truly was as they say there, a hot gun. Go watch some footage of him there. Just a sweet thrower. There we go. USFL, Houston, Minnesota. And quite frankly, had one of the sweetest mustaches in the game. Is it Sean Landetta good? No, but pretty good mustache there. Alright, there we go. Perfect. A complete page of Warren Moons. That actually is going to help me sleep better at night. It truly is. Alright, on this page, I have a lot of Troy Aikmans in a lot of different spots. I might one day put them all together, but just decided to move these here. Again, I got no love for the Cowboys, but I respect Aikman and Emmitt Smith and what Michael Irvin did on the field. So, there we go. And just as a early 90s collector, like these cards still have a lot of emotional value. Alright, now we've reached the main event. We do not have any Dan Marinos to add to the collection today. But now we've got a collection of Miami Dolphins throughout the years. No real order. We're just going to put these in and really hope that putting some of these Miami Dolphins in will change our fortunes in this coming football season. Don't worry, it won't. We got Terry Kirby. I think it's perfect that Terry Kirby would go right near Aaron Craver in our collection because we had a lot of hope for both players being the kind of running back out of the backfield for Marino to find. And he did, actually, but not with as much success as we wanted. We have Mark Higgs, who kind of came out of nowhere and was one of the Dolphins' best running backs during the early 90s. On one hand, that's not saying much, but on the other hand, I still love Mark Higgs. He's in there. receivers marked over. Alright. And on this random page, I'm going to put in some classic Dolphin defenders from over the years there. So we got a John Offerdahl Pro Bowl. I know I got some other Offerdahls in there, but we'll just hold in here. Okay. And then we got Jeff Cross. Jeff Cross, kind of one of those players that kind of came out of nowhere, defensive end, and a big 11.5 sack season in 1990. Loved Jeff Cross with the Dolphins. Back when our defense tried a lot. Brian Cox, one of the more spirited players in the game. I sometimes miss his intensity in the Dolphin locker room. So there we go. And then David Griggs. Love David Griggs. Griggs was kind of one of those players that kind of came out of nowhere and had a great little run with the Dolphins in the early 90s. So he had that weird face mask that kind of showed up in the 90s, the weird flat bar face mask. Is it just me that remembers those? Okay. No? Okay. I think Reggie White even had some for a while. There we go. There we go. The Dolphins players are organized. That's some good vibes. I got some work done. Hopefully, as always, you found this video relaxing. Leave us a thumbs up. Leave us a comment. Tell us if I should start that Michael Irvin or Bruce Smith page there. Alright. And as I flip through the Dolphins that are going to take us, well, not all of them, most certain not so much, as I flip through the Dolphins, Bradley Chubb, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Phillips, Tua, how do I bless them? How do I do it? You're blessed. You're blessed. The Dolphins have a good season. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time here on Sports